Who was the last performer? What was your name?
Richard.
That was really good.
Thank you so
really
much.
enjoyed it.
Thank you so
Emily,
much.
you were also wonderful. Alright, so 2 hard acts to follow. So I came last week and I started working on the story and I wrote the first piece, which I called Chapter 1. So I kind of felt compelled to write Chapter 2, which I wrote today. So this is even rougher. I was going to go over it for like grammar issues, but alright. Okay. So just as a reminder for people who heard the last part, I'll read like the last couple sentences of the last piece and then go on to Chapter 2, which is really short. Okay, so the last bits of Chapter 1. Silver lightning flashed, rich thunder roared, and the land trembled once more. The stone burst open and light streamed forth, mirroring the lightning from the sky above in its brightness. And as the light faded and our eyes readjust, we can make out a figure, crouched, hands resting lightly on its knees, at the center of the spot where the stone used to be. Okay. So, Chapter 2, which I'm tentatively titling The Birth of a King. High above the clouds, someone stirred in his slumber. Did you hear that? He murmured to his queen, voice craveled with sleep. Pay it no mind, came her reply, whispered in tones of silk. Leave the earthly matters be, they concern us not. And so the king and queen slept on in the palace of light and woven gold, and slumbered peacefully in a jade-colored sky. But down in the land where spring began, however, the earthly matter in question was quite concerned. Or perhaps concerned isn't quite the appropriate word here. He was curious. He stretched out an arm and held a hand before his face, counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fingers, and he flexed and wiggled them delightedly. He sprang from the ground, where he'd been crouching, on 2 strong hind legs, leapt and swung onto the lower branch of a lone peach tree perched on the top of the mountain. Lithe arms pulled his lean body up past the lower branches, past a gathering of leaves, and he finally stopped, hands and feet resting against the rough bark of an old friend. He gazed, with bright, curious eyes, down at the sloping mountain below. The rain had stopped, and the day was dawning. The yellow sun gilded the edges of the mountain peaks with white gold. Wisps of clouds clung to the higher stones, just like he clung to our tree branch, lightly, effortlessly, content. He shifted his gaze, then, from the clouds back to his tree, and there to his right was a splash of pink, peeking out from green leaves. He reached for the pink, stretching out long, nimble fingers, and brushed the leaves aside, and he cupped it in his palm. It was a large peach, the same shade of pink as the sunrise, velvet against his skin. He gave it a sharp tug, and it came off the branch with a pop. And he brought it to his nose, breathed deep, bared white teeth in a grin of delight, and took a bite. The supple velvet skin of the fruit gave way as his teeth sunk in. Tart, sweet sunshine filled his mouth. Honey juices trickled down his heart-shaped face, making dewdrops on the soft brown hair on his neck and chest. He finished the peach with wistful glee, sucking at his fingertips when only the pit remained. Tastes like sunrise, he said to the mountain air. He crouched, still for a moment more, before letting out a whoop of joy, and he leapt from the lone peach tree to a nearby plum, swinging from that to a sprightly pear sapling. It was time to explore. And then chapter 3, not written yet.